This online session is about Constantine. We're going to pick up where we left off in class. Diocletian, the emperor under whom took place the last persecution of Christianity in the Roman Empire, is out of office. There's a palace coup rebellion, and he's out of office. Very quickly becomes a civil war over who's going to be the next emperor of Rome. Pretty quickly that becomes a civil war between two generals over who's going to be the next emperor. And one of them is named Constantine. The other one nobody cares about because Constantine wins. And quickly it comes down to one battle which is going to decide which of these two generals is going to be the next emperor of Rome. It's a battle called the Battle of the Milvian Bridge. Unless you're a history major, you don't need to worry about the name of that battle, not for this course at least. But the Milvian Bridge crosses the Tiber River into Rome. The battle plan is to gain control of the bridge. He's going to throw as many soldiers as he can across the bridge, establish a bridgehead on the other side, and then push his soldiers across as quickly as he can. Another view of the bridge: if Constantine gains control of the bridge and can move his army in, he'll be able to attack Rome and defeat his enemy and become the next Roman emperor. And if not, then he won't be able to. It's as simple as that. It comes down to this one battle. Is he going to be the next emperor or not? Well, Constantine is on a hillside overlooking the battlefield. I've got a diagram here that you don't need to worry about the detail of. If you can't quite read anything there, that's okay. But you see Constantine's army to the north up here. He's going to cross the bridge and try to get as many of his soldiers across before his enemy figures out what he's doing and is able to stop him. Well, Constantine's on a hillside overlooking the bridge. He's making last-minute plans in the battle plan, last-minute changes in the battle plan. He is making last-minute changes in the tactics for the battle. And he says something happens to him. And again, all I do in this course is tell you what people said happened to him. If you don't like what people said happened to him, don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you what the man said happened to him. Well, Constantine says that he sees that he's on the hillside overlooking the battlefield. He, all of a sudden, something strange is going on. He, like time stands still. He gets the goosebump thing or something. Constantine says he looks up in the sky. He looks up in the sky, and he sees a big red cross up in the sky. And around the cross, a Latin phrase, "In hoc signo vinces." So Constantine says he looks up in the sky, sees a big red cross up there, and around the cross, "In hoc signo vinces." A Latin phrase. In hoc signo vinces. In means in. This, hoc means this. Signo means sign. And vinces means to win or to be victorious. It's usually translated in this sign, comma, conquer. And this sign, conquer. I've got some depictions of the experience. Here is an engraving from the 16th century. We'll talk about engravings later on in the semester. But there you see Constantine on his horse in this depiction, looking up, seeing the cross up in the sky. Here is a tapestry hanging in the Vatican in Rome. Constantine standing there, looking up, seeing that big red cross up in the sky. This is a take on the subject by the Dutch Baroque artist Rubens. We'll talk about the Baroque period later on in the semester. Here's a rather fanciful depiction in a little insignia, I guess. The big red cross, and around it that Latin phrase, and this sign, conquer, and another kind of fanciful take on the scene. Well, Constantine interprets this experience, vision, whatever you'd like to characterize it, to mean that if he converts to Christianity, if Constantine converts to Christianity, then he'll win the battle. He'll conquer his enemy, he'll win the battle, and become the next Roman emperor. On the way to the battlefield, Constantine had arrested a group of Christian bishops that his soldiers had come across. He'd had them arrested and taken to the battlefield. The implication is that if Constantine wins the battle, there'll be a big victory party, and part of the entertainment at the party will be watching these men being tortured to death. It's kind of a rough time period. And well, Constantine sends for these bishops. They show up expecting to be executed, and instead Constantine says he wants to become a Christian. He wants to convert to Christianity. Constantine converts. He orders his soldiers to paint another Christian symbol on their shields. We'll get to that symbol later on in the semester. and sends them into battle. Here's a depiction by the Renaissance artist Rembrandt of the Battle of the Milvian Bridge. Not quite sure you can make out much of the detail, don't really need to. But of course Constantine wins, or else there wouldn't be a point to me telling you the story, and pretty quickly everyone knows that Constantine is going to be the next Roman emperor, which he is. And one of the first things that Constantine does as Roman emperor is to issue a document which is very important in the history of Christianity, and that's a document called the Edict of Milan. An edict is a fancy word that means something that somebody says. Milan is the city in Italy where Constantine said it, and about the year 312. And the Edict of Milan very simply legalizes Christianity. Christianity is no longer an illegal religion. Constantine says Christianity is no longer illegal because I'm a Christian. I don't want my religion to be illegal. With the legalization of Christianity in the Roman world, Christianity expands even more quickly than it had previously, and it already expanded pretty quickly. On the screen we have a map of the spread of Christianity in the Roman world. The dark blue areas are where we find significant Christian populations within just a generation of Christian history. Of course, we find large numbers back where the story kicks off, back around Jerusalem. Large numbers in Egypt, large numbers where Syria is today, large numbers where Turkey is today, large numbers where Greece is. That area may not look large, but that's a huge populated area of Greece. Large populations in Rome, in Roman Africa, in Spain, and scattered elsewhere. The lighter blue areas are where we find not significant Christian populations, but majority Christian populations within just a generation of the legalization of Christianity. And as you see, that's essentially the rest of the Roman world. The yellow refers to the conversion of the Germans. That's a later part of the story. We're not going to go into in class. An interesting story, but we won't spend any time on it in class. But just within a generation, once the stigma of being an illegal organization is lifted from Christianity, then very quickly Christianity becomes the majority religion in the Roman world. And after Christianity reaches that point, then that secret society thing kind of dies out pretty quickly, because once most people in town know what your secrets are, there's really no point in having them. And so that kind of dies out pretty quickly. Well, that is a look at the spread of Christianity into the Roman world. Christianity, I should say, if I haven't said it in class, is also spreading very quickly. Christianity explodes out of Jerusalem. It's expanding very quickly to the east. We have Christian churches in India within just a generation of Christian history. It expands very quickly into the north. We have Christian churches in Armenia within just a generation of Christian history. It expands very quickly into East Africa, down here. There are Christian churches in Ethiopia within just a generation of Christian history. Christianity is spreading very quickly and very rapidly. But we'll be focused on this part of the world for the rest of the semester, and so that's been our focus in this presentation.